Hello, everybody. Very warm welcome today to our Dome 6 webinar. My name is Ronnie Barner. I'm at K2 Technical Sales, and I will lead you through the first phase of this webinar, which will be a little presentation of our new system. Afterwards, my colleague Roman Beil will show you some parts, and in the end, we will go back to my side and we will go through a planning of the new Dome 6 system with our planning tool K2 Base. Of course, in the end, you will have the opportunity to ask some questions. You can always ask questions via chat, or you can raise your hand, and if it fits, maybe we can activate your microphone as well. Also, my colleague Alessandro will be there for you to answer your questions via chat over the whole next hour, the whole webinar. So, thank you again for being here. Let's start with a little presentation. So here we have the first overview of our new, both of our new systems, S-Dome 6 and D-Dome 6. Maybe those of you who already know our previous systems, D-Dome, S-Dome V or Classic, might already recognize the differences, the technical differences, but of course here we start with two important informations accompanied by two numbers, 80% and 50%. Our new system shall be will come pre-assembled. 80% of the parts are pre-assembled, and that makes the installation about 50% or even more faster. So why is that? Yeah, 80% come pre-assembled. Here you can see how the rail comes directly to the construction site. The mat S here will be pre-assembled on the rail, and also the SD domes, which are the parts for the lower part of your module, and the middle part where the dome items will be shifted in, they are already pre-assembled, and that shall make the installation at least 50% faster. You can see that in a little animation here. That means you have in your bill of materials very few components only. You can see these components here. It's the rail pre-assembled with the SD dome and the mat S. Then the peaks come separately, the clamps come separately, and also the rail connector. So very few items only. We also invented a new principle for our rail connector, which makes the installation also here much faster, and it's completely tool-free. It's only the connector which is in the rail compared to the rail connector of the speed rail in the era of Dome Classic, where we had a flat connector which was outside the rail. Here we have a flat connector inside the rail, which gives the rail the meeting point of the rails more stability. We have just a bolt and a kind of a splinter. Roman will tell you the name afterwards more precisely. And also one thing which makes the installation much faster, which helps to be much faster and more precise, is our Dome Speed Spacer. Roman will show you afterwards how to work with the spacer, but it will help you to measure the distance between two base rails very easily. Here we see the dome peak items, which are slided in, clicked in very easily. So also here you don't need tools anymore. The middle part is pre-assembled as said before, and then you just have to click in the peak item. The mat S is designed after the same principle as mat V before. It's only a little more narrow. It has another measurement, but the same area, and also the good characteristics, good friction characteristics, and it is quite soft as mat V. It takes the tolerances of the roof. And also our mini clamp comes again with the Dome 6, easy to be installed, easy to be fixed, and it covers module frame heights between 30 and 50 millimeters again, so one size fits all. A new principle we also have for the fixation on the peak point of the module. Before we clamp the module, we used to clamp the module always on the very peak of the module, and now as the SD dome on the lowest point of the module is already prefixed, the distance between SD dome and peak dome is fixed. So depending on the module size, the peak of the module will or will not exceed over the peak item here. That means you have the same row spacing, and the system will fit for the future for growing module sizes up to a certain point. But until then, this system will fit for all your module sizes. And there is one more point which makes the Dome 6 system very attractive for more and more roofs where you might have had a problem in the past. Dome 6 also needs less ballast than Dome V or even Dome Classic before. So here is a little comparison. We have a D-Dome V project here, calculated in K2 base with 702 modules. That means almost 1.9 kilograms of ballast, 2.7 kilogram per module in average. Compared to that, we have a Dome 6 project on the same roof. We have almost the same amount of modules, but we have only a third of the ballast, you can say, approximately 1 kilogram per module. So different calculations have shown us a result of 35% less ballast for Dome 6 compared to Dome V. And also a new feature for Dome 6 is our Dome Fix Pro set. With the Dome Fix Pro set, you can even save more ballast, so to speak, especially for roofs with more than 3 degrees roof tilt, where you are forced to fix the system on the roof. We have a very easy solution for that now. You can just connect 2 base rails with the Dome Fix Pro set, and then the Dome Fix Pro set itself will be connected to a fixation point on the roof. That means again, you will save even more ballast. Dome Fix Pro set can be used up to 10 degrees roof tilt. It is required from more than 3 degrees of roof tilt. And yeah, if you have only little load reserves on your roof, Dome Fix Pro set could maybe save your project. So that it was from my point until now. I will now pass on to my colleague Roman, who will show you some parts in detail.
Hi everyone, my name is Roman and I've got the pleasure to show you all the new parts of our Dome 6. So we will start with just the base rail. I'm going to bring this one over for you to do this quite well. This is the base rail, one of the base rails for the S-Dome, for an example, where you can see all the pre-assembled parts. You will get this base rail delivered exactly like it is here, with the mat S on both sides, the mid plate, including the clips, which are holding the peaks, and also the SD dome on the side. The SD dome and the mid plate are fixed as usual with the MK2 nut. I'm going to show you the second one as well. It's pretty much the same, different lengthen, but sometimes only mid plate and one SD. Excuse me, I have to put it a bit back. Sometimes one SD dome for the S dome, and sometimes 2 for the D dome. I will show you now a well-known MK2 nut, the slot nut, which you still, as always, for the speed rail and all our rails, push it in, turn it, and move it to the same side as you want it. But you don't have to do this yourself, and all the parts pretty much are pre-assembled in our new system, as you see here. With the new Mat S, you will get all the benefits, like Ronnie already told you, like the Dome V mat. You get the honeycomb structure. I'm trying to pull it out now for you to make it more interesting and better to see. I'll try this now. So you get the structure of a honeycomb, which makes the flexibility even better. It helps us to get vertical and horizontal loads much easier onto the mat, and we get a much higher and better friction coefficient. You can see quite well. I'm trying to moving it a bit more. Yeah. And also, it's quite important to know you can always move the mat S forward and back to have, for example, uneven surfaces to level it out. So it doesn't mean just because the mat S is already fixed under the rail, that this is a fixed position, you're still able to move it forth and back, as you see here. So with the pre-assembled parts, I will just put one rail away to get more space on the table, which I showed you already now. We have all pre-assembled as the SD, mid-plate, the Mat S. The only thing you have to assemble is the peak. The peak is very, very easy and very fast to assemble. Where you see this little hook down here, you only have to put it onto the rail, spin it, and click it in. That's all you gotta do, and the peak's already fixed. For the D-dome, you just do it twice on both sides, turn it in, turn it in, push it on, and there we are. This is the D-dome. That's all you gotta do, and that's why we are so much faster than the old, compared to the old systems we used. So this is the D-dome, like I already said. And what's very new and very good, we might have sometimes the trouble to want to end up with only one S-dome on a row. So what's new, not in base now, but it will come up soon, hopefully, that you are able to only mount one peak at the end of one row. You will still calculate with D-dome, that you can end up with an S-dome. As you see here, there are these lines in. You have the exact position where you can put the windbreaker on, and that's how you end up with one rail if you need it with an S-dome. That's very new. It's not in base yet, but it will come up soon. So we continue. As you saw the peak now, you saw the base rail with all the pre-assembled parts. I will just finish this with the clamp. And on our new system, we decided to use our well-known mini clamp. The mini clamp, as Ronnie already told you, has the ability to fix module frame heights from 30 to 50%. So it's a one-for-all clamp, very universal, always easy to handle. You only slide it in. I'll present you the peak even closer. I hope you can see it. Only have the mini clamp, slide it in, and it's fixed in any positions as you want. Same for the end clamp. This is the mini clamp as you all know it. And then we have the end clamp. It's the same for the module frame height. I hope there are no more questions for that. If not, feel free to send them via chat. And I will continue with the next innovation. So I will just use different rails to make it more easy for you to understand and for me to show you. Those ones are a little bit shorter. So just imagine this is the base rail with mid plate. Then as an example, again, we have the peak. And there's the second base rail, which we are having here. So what we have, we need a distance between the base rails. This is the new invention in red, very nice color in my opinion, which we easily can measure out the module length. As an example, you have a thin side and a thicker side on the speed spacer. With the thinner side, you go and measure, as an example here, we go on just this table, go for the thinner side, move this one forth and back, so we get the same length of the module. Just turn it once around, 180 degrees around. You have the two base rails, put it into one, put it into the other, and you have the exact distance between the rails. Now, to want to make it more stable, the installer could put the first module already on it, but for an experienced installer, I don't have to tell you, I think. But let me know what you like, how you like the color. I found it really nice with the red color. So this is one of the new inventions. And we have the second one, which you already saw in the presentation. This is our, some trouble with the sound. Can you hear me? All good? Okay, so are we good? Okay, so this is our dome fix pro set. Finish up all the module sizes which you can imagine. You only have to pull this out. If you have a longer module, the shorter it gets, put it back in. No troubles, nothing. How we're gonna fix this? Just imagine you have the base rails, one left, one right, and you fix it with our well-known MK2 into the rail, put this one side onto the rail, take a bolt, screw it on, and it's fixed. Same. Good. Where did I stop? You use the MK2, put it into the rail, into the profile as you know it, put the fixed pro set on top, fix it with a bolt, and that's it. You have the difference to other parts. You can just use it for all kind of module sizes. That's why we invented it. And how you're gonna fix it? That's just as an example. You need a thread or a bolt coming out. All you gotta do, this is an example. You get the fixed pro set delivered, including the adapter plate and the climber. You can decide in M12 or M10. And all you gotta do is put it on the right position where you have this on your roof, this bolt, fix it in, tighten it up, and that's it. It will, for example, if you have like a lot of ballast and you have 10 degrees tilt, if you fix it with this, you will get less ballast, a heaps lot of less ballast. You only fix it up, it saves you to slide the whole system down, and you reduce the ballast as well. So this is our fixed pro set. Just try to open it up again. Okay. So more benefits. I will use this as an example again. We will go with the base rail again. Put in the peak, and I'm going to show you how it's possible to use the different sizes of the modules. Just imagine you have a module. You put it on top here, put it right on the edge, and the longer it gets, the wider your module gets, the more it sticks over. The difference is we don't clamp on the corner anymore, on the corner of the module. We have the ability to let the module stick out even longer. So the modules come up here, no corner clamping. On the bottom, yes. On top, there is no corner clamping. And that's why we are able to have longer module sizes with this Dome 6. There is a question? Okay.
Is the fixed pro set suitable for all types of roofings, like ply membrane, concrete?
Well, it is suitable due to only we have the fixed pro set, but we don't provide these kind of bolts, for example. The people, the installer, they have to look after it on the roof, how they're able to fix it. So the different roof surfaces like membrane or foil or ply or whatever you have, you need to make sure you are able to fix this kind of thread, and then we are able to use Dome Fix Pro set. I hope this was the answer for the question. The roof substructure, yes, it's up to the roof substructure itself as well. That was a good question. But where did I end up? Oh yeah, we had the module sizes coming from very short to very long, just sticking it over the top. So with the rail length, we always have the same rail length, and that's why we also only have one size for the row distance. It's always for a D-Dome 6, it's always 2.28 meters. So you always have the same distance from one double module to the next double module. Always same, always 2.28. And for the S Dome 6, it's 1 meter 48. That's the size. So no more moving forth and back, no more checking what's the exact size. There's only one size. How we are able to I lost the track. Okay, how are we able to connect the rails with themselves? Ronnie showed you in the presentation we have a new rail connector. This is the new rail connector. I will show you on the short rails to make it more simple, easy to understand. We have this as a rail connector. You can see it in the camera. Very easy. You only have to slide it in on both sides and connect it with the hitch pin. We are using very simple hitch pins. You don't have to use any tools. All you gotta do is stick this hitch pin into the bolt, and that's it. That's all you gotta do. To make it more easy for the thermal extensions, for the like we have different temperatures on different national in different countries. So sometimes we have more thermal extensions, sometimes we have less. To compensate this, we have slotted holes on both sides of the connector. This way, we are able to move pretty much with the thermal extension, both rails together. I think it's 3 to 4 centimeters. There's no chance the rail is extending more. So this is one thing for all, this one rail connector with the slotted holes. Anything else? I don't think so. If you have more questions about the parts, which I'm showing you right now, feel free to ask them in the chat. Are there more questions? Okay, then we're gonna show you the assembly video and explain a little bit more to it. Okay, this is the assembly video. So first of all, you see the whole system. The first was the D dome. This is the S dome. There's a distance template, speed spacer, where you can see this. This is the point where you just move the little black clip to measure out the exact length of the module itself.
And then you fix the two parts at the both of the sides of the module.
Okay, you fix them both on exactly. After that, all you gotta do, use the thicker side, which was just shown. Put the base rails down, thicker side in the base rails, and you get the exact distance.
So for measuring, you need the side which is more narrow, and for setting the distance between the rails, you use the opposite side.
Exactly.
Of the plastic part.
Here you can see how to fix the peak. Only turn it and clip it in. So now we're coming to the rail connector. As you see, you only slide it in, use the H pin and bolt, and connect them with each other.
So quite easy. You put the rails on the roof with the distance measurement tool, and then you slide in the peaks, and that's it.
That's
you
it.
can already put in the modules afterwards.
And then obviously up to the roof tilt, you can use the fixed pro set, which we see now.
Also very easy to install. Just 2 bolts in each rail, and then
Fixate it with the climber into the pro set.
Yeah, with 1 nut.
So this is where you see how we put the ballast on.
Ballastation works with speed porters or with porters, which are practically the same, or which are exactly the same as the ballastation items you know from the Dome Classic system. For lower ballast, the speed porters are suitable, and for higher ballast, you can use the porters, which are practically L profiles.
You can see them right here in the video. I just stopped it for you. That's the porter. After this, you're able to fix the module onto the rail with the mini clamp. Very simple. And here you can see where, on which position of the module we fix it on the top part, on the peak.
Where this is kind of a shorter module, maybe let's say 990, not much more millimeters, and a larger module, for example, with 1046 millimeters would exceed further over the peak item of the mounting system. So two people can build up a whole plant, you can say, very easily and very fast.
This is where we start with the S-dome, just for you so you can see it. Okay, there's the rail connector, where you can see it exactly how it works again for the S-dome. Same here, use the mini clamp. The only difference, what I told you before, was the windbreaker, which you fix.
And here you just could see, sorry, Roman.
Okay, I can
go back a little bit. Also, very practical innovation, maybe a few seconds further back.
Further back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the
moment exactly here, when the moment when the windbreaker was put into the little nose at the back of the peak. So this makes it much easier to fix a windbreaker. Even a single person now can fix the windbreaker, and it will be exactly in the right position.
Without sliding it down.
Yeah, exactly.
Very convenient. Okay, so this was the assembly video, and this was from my side. Thank you for watching my presentation, and I will give over to Ronnie now. Ronnie will do the base calculation with you. He will show you how to calculate with the new mask and base, the new interface, and explain more about the Dome V system. The Dome 6 system, I'm sorry. Okay, until next time, Ronnie, it's your part again. Thank you.
Thank you, Roman, for showing us all the parts. I think that was very helpful, much more helpful than just a presentation. So we will come back to my screen now, where we will plan a project with the Dome V system. So we not only present our new flat roof system today, but also present our new base user interface. So let's start from the beginning, so to speak. Now I'm already logged in my base account. First thing I want to discuss is the left side, the menu, and let's just start with changing the language here, because you see my language is now German. So I want to change the Sprache language. So I choose English for you guys, and if I wished so, I also could change to the imperial system, but I prefer the metric system because I'm not really common with the imperial system. So let's keep this. Save, this is still the German word for save, speichern, but now we have everything in English here. So that was the first point down here. Let's discuss some of the other points first. I can hide the, make the menu field on the left side wider or more narrow.
Well, but that's more up to if you're used to the new interface, then you know what signs are meaning, for example, save or download. If you don't need it written anymore, you can just pretty much hide it if you press on the menu button.
Exactly. Sometimes one or two words can maybe help. So another thing I want to show you is the expert mode. Expert mode, yeah, I want to explain that very short. If you have the expert mode, you really have all the values, all the fields where you can insert any value. And if you hide the expert mode, if you are not in the expert mode, some of the fields, some of the measurements are not asked. So they are just not shown to you. So maybe if you are in a situation at one point and you think, hey, where is this or that value? Let's say the rafter spacing or something. Then maybe you are not in the expert mode and have to activate the expert mode. Here you can find some news, some hints might be interesting, especially when we have some new features in base. They are discussed here. You also have these information in the newsletter if you get that one. Otherwise, you always can have a look here. Here you have a direct link to our base videos, also very helpful. Okay, I mean, now many of these videos might still show the old base, of course, but very soon you also will have videos with the new interface here behind that link. We will provide you many useful tips and short videos here very soon. If you need any help, you can also chat with us via WhatsApp or Messenger. If you have one of Facebook Messenger, if you have one of them on your computer, yeah, here you can change your settings, change your data, your password and stuff like that, and language as we discussed before. Let's jump to the top. So I could now start a new project or open an existing project. Let's first have a look to our new dashboard. Now we are on the dashboard and I could now open one of my existing projects. And there is one new feature. You can tag your project, all your planned projects. You can tag them. You can give them the tag in planning or completed or realized. So Are you still working on that project in base? Then you should give it the tag in planning. Once you have completed it and you don't have to plan anything anymore, you can give it the tag completed, or if you have installed everything and the PV plant is running already, you can tag it as realized. If you mark one project here, for example that one, let's go back to completed. Let's go to planning. So I mark that one. It's the webinar exercise 3 roof hooks. Yeah, I see that name also on the right side, and the status is in planning, and I could now move it to completed, for example. Yeah, now it disappeared and it will be here in completed. So let's start and create a new project. The interface has changed a little bit, but not so much on the first side. Here still I type in any address. So I choose Renningen at first. Renningen Industriestraße. That's where we are. So I zoom in a little bit. I can move a little bit on my satellite picture. And then here you can see now the address is Industriestraße, but by double clicking on the roof, I can alter the address, and now I have the exact address of the building I want to plan. Let's say it's this one. I can give that project a name and also add other values and words into the other fields. So before, in the old base, we had to navigate by clicking up here, but now we added this continue button, which makes it much more related to other softwares, where you also have the continue button. So we can now plan by using the satellite image, which can help us in many cases very much. But some of you might prefer an empty page to plan a roof, but I want to keep the satellite image. So this is my area where I can add a roof now. If you realize, oh no, it's the wrong roof, I wanted to plan here, then you would have to move this roof into that frame. Now let's go back again.
By talking about going back, Ronnie, can I ask a question?
Sure.
What if I want to go back now to the project side?
Very good question.
Yes, you explained that we only can continue by pressing the continue button.
Not only.
Not only. Okay.
We still can proceed by using this navigation up here. If we were already there at results, for example, we can also navigate by using these buttons. Also now I proceeded, I am at roof already, so I can go back by using this navigation. But of course, I also can use the back button down here.
Okay, that's very good to know. Thanks for that explanation.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking. So now you can see I can use the roof word up here. Click there. Very easy. So now I want to add my roof as discussed before. So in this case, we want to create a flat roof. It shall be rectangular, and the roof covering, we only have one option. It is even roof covering, for example, membrane, gravel, bitumen, or a green roof. So we can immediately give that room a specific name, for example, office. So let's add that roof. Now I click at just one corner of the roof, make my first, draw my first line, click again and complete the shape of the roof, and then I can click again and I finalized my roof. And now I see I can move a little further out down here. So perfect.
Ronnie, what is if you have the exact measurement of the roof?
If I have the exact measurement, as you know that from before, from the old base, I also can type in these values here, but I cannot do it in the satellite view as before. I have to switch to the 2D view. And at that moment, I want to explain some differences again. Before we had what we show as 4 different icons up here. The design is a little different, so we can switch between different things, different possibilities up here. For example, the obstacles and also the remarks. You might know that from the old base, and some of the features before we had them up here on the right top side. Now they are much more easy to find just here. So let's switch to the 2D view, and then by typing in the real measurements, maybe I know that the roof is not 44 meters and 54 centimeters, but let's say 44.6. Yeah, then I can decide if the alternation shall take place on the top side or on the downside or on both sides equally. Yeah, same thing I could do here, of course, but let's say that this measurement is right. Now we see here fields with the red outlines. So these fields have to be filled out. So then we have 12 meters roof height, for example. Of course, I measured all these values. We have 2 degrees roof pitch. Here I can alter my roof tilt, in which direction it goes. Now it would go into the north direction because I see that arrow here. So if I want to change that because my roof tilt goes in the western direction, I can do that with one of these little arrows here. Also the surface of the roof, I can alter it here. In this case, let's say it's bitumen. I have an attic of, let's say, 20 centimeters, and my friction coefficient is, let's say, 0.6. I measured that before with the friction determination, friction coefficient determination tool. So let's go on by using the continue button and jump to the design page. Again, we see the 3 different icons up here, and by pressing the continue button, we can switch between these items. But of course, we have to start with choosing the modules. So let's just search for any module manufacturer.
Ronnie,
yeah,
that's not really a question, but a person said the parapet wall is quite high. Do you want to put it down a little bit?
Oh, what did I put in?
You put in 2 meters, and this is quite high. So
I wanted 0.2 meters actually, so 20 centimeters. That's what was what I wanted, but thank you very much.
A little more realistic. Thank you
for taking care.
And by doing this, you could see that Ronnie is just jumping back by clicking back on the roof button and forth by clicking on the design.
Exactly. So let's now choose, for example, a 340 watt module of Axitec, and then I can just choose one of them. Let's say it was that one in this case. Then we see the measurements here. If your module is not in the list, you can also click on user defined and then just type in the values manually. So let's press continue, and now automatically this field is activated. We will choose now our system. In this case, we want to make an east-west elevation, so we choose the D-Dome 6.10. 6 stands for the generation Dome 6, and 10 means that the elevation is 10 degrees. So let's make a module field. Many of you would instantly click on complete roof. I do not recommend that because it makes you less flexible. Using several module field or even one module field makes you much more flexible, and I really recommend always on every roof only use this button, module field. So let's proceed and press the add icon, and then I can click and make my module field just somewhere. And of course now I don't see anything, so I go back to the satellite view, and now I can move my module field to wherever I want. Let's make it really large, almost over the whole roof. So now of course I cannot leave these modules where they are, so let's go back to roof now. Using the obstacle function, make some rectangular obstacles, maybe just here. Now we can also hide the modules because it makes it more easy, makes it easier to put the obstacles in the right position. You can give the obstacle a specific height. I take care that it's not 5 meters again. I can show the shading of the obstacle. You can even give the obstacle a specific edge distance. Sometimes your obstacles have to have a little space around them. I don't know why it's not working. Okay, might be a little bug. I cannot give my obstacle an edge distance. So let's just jump over that. What I wanted to do is duplicate the obstacle. I can do it by using this little icon, and I can move my second obstacle wherever I want. So let's just keep it like this. Press continue to go on, and then you see automatically in the area of the obstacles I have no modules anymore. Of course, I can go back. Maybe I have also measured that, so I can use the function here. First activate the module, the obstacle.
Can you always change the obstacle size on the satellite mode or only on the 2D mode? Just
No,
like the roof.
It is for the obstacle. It is as it is for the roof. You have to jump to the 2D view to alter the size of the obstacle itself. Two meters. It doesn't work. I don't know why. So let's deactivate that one and activate the distance. You can also type in an exact measurement for the distance. Also, that one doesn't work at the moment. Although I am in the, yeah, might be some bug. Unfortunately, there are still some bugs since the last release, the last update. But luckily, I can jump back to the satellite view and move the obstacles wherever I want. So let's go back to the design page and I will show you the rubber function. The rubber function is another possibility to remove modules which you don't want to have because there are some obstacles, for example, like that. Of course, I could remove all the other ones, but now, as it is already 3 o'clock, I will just show you other possibilities which you have. For example, altering the thermal gaps. So we have one thermal gap just in the middle, which is very nice. So we leave that. And then let's have a look. We have two thermal gaps horizontally. So that's also very nice. If I wanted to add another thermal gap, I could just do that by clicking here and then saying, yeah, there shall be another thermal gap, for example. Yeah, so it's very easy. I deactivate the thermal gap function and I proceed and I go to loads. And as my project is in Germany, the loads, wind load and snow load is calculated automatically. In other countries outside of Europe, especially, you might have to type in the wind load and the snow load manually. So everything you have to do now is choose the terrain category. So let's have a look. Behind the question mark, you see which terrain category is suitable for you. So in this case, we have terrain category 3, I guess. So let's alter that. And then my peak velocity pressure is a little lower at least, which means when I go to result, I will have some kilograms less of ballast. So here we see our ballastation plan already. So it's very, very few ballast, really helpful. It saves you time for searching the stones it saves you money for buying the stones. It saves you time again for putting the stones up on the roof and to deliver them to all the edges of the roof. So not only saves installation time, but also saves time and money for ballastation. Yeah, here you can also add other items like lightning protection material, terragriffs, cable management items, and so on. We have optimizers. Yeah, I don't want to go into that too deep at this point, but what we really should do is have a look if everything is in order with our modules. Yeah, the loads on the modules are very low, so everything's fine. I should always compare that with the mounting information and the data sheet of the module manufacturer. So let's have a look on the verification. Everything is in order. We have a verified Dome 6 system, only 20% of load, not even 20%. So we can continue, and in the end we have our summary as we know it, a little different looking. Don't forget to save your project from time to time. Again, we can download it, we can create the well-known Excel or a PDF report, sorry, and we can also create the bill of materials for that project. So everything as you know it, and as you appreciate, hopefully. Well, at that point, I would say we have successfully planned a D-Dome 6 project. So not so much different from planning a Dome V project with the old base, I would say. Just have to get to know with the new surface, with the new base interface. But doing that 2 or 3 times, I think, will already help you to know the new interface and to plan as easy as it was before. Yeah, Roman, do we have any more questions?
No, it doesn't look like there are more open questions. There was a question about how you can change the tilt of the module. I don't think the question was actually about the tilt. It's probably about where you can change the direction of the roof tilt, but that's what you showed already with the arrow. Or maybe one more important thing to show is the reference side of the roof.
Yeah, okay. So let's go back to design.
That's just a quick thing, but it's very important to know.
In this case, you see we have a north direction here. If you go to the satellite picture, it gets even clearer. So maybe sometimes you will have a building which is not exactly like this one. The orientation of the building is not exactly north to south, east to west, but it might be diagonal in the landscape. So yeah, maybe you would like to alter the direction of the elevation, and the green line, so to speak, shows your personal north, and you can say the orientation, this personal north shall be in the west, for example. So then we would click here on the M, which stands for manually, and then we will manually define the corner which shall be our new north, the roof edge, which is the orientation for our elevation. So if I click here, then all the modules will turn around now. So we would not have an east-west elevation anymore. We would now have a north-south elevation.
which doesn't make sense right now, but it's very important to know. Thanks for that, Ronnie.
Yeah, and it could be in any case that somebody thinks that a northwest elevation is a good solution for him. Why not?
Okay, are there any more questions?
So yeah, if there are no more questions right now, I would say thank you very much for taking part in the webinar. Thank you very much, Roman, for showing the items. And thank you very much, Alessandro, for answering the questions. If you have more questions, maybe we will be online for 1 more minute. And otherwise, you are very welcome to contact us at any time via phone or email. And yeah, thank you again, and have fun using K2Base, and hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.